seem to equate manufacturing with 19th century technology, with the steam engine and grease, whereas in fact that is not the case. Modern manufacturing is what? It's pharmaceuticals, it's advanced industrial chemistry, it's advanced materials, nanotubes for example. Consider the car industry. The motor vehicle industry draws on an extraordinarily wide range of advanced technologies and advanced services. It draws on advanced metallurgy. It draws on advanced machining. Consider the millions of lines of computer code that go into the engine management systems and safety systems inside modern vehicles. Australia is just one of 13 countries in the world that have the capacity to go from the drawing board right through to the production line in the showroom. And every country that has this capacity seeks to nurture and develop their car industry. The modern motor vehicle industry sits at the very heart of a national input-output system. It's at the very heart of its national science and technology base. Well, so what? Surely the resource sector can fill the gap. But in fact, under present policy settings, the resource sector draws most of its advanced components, its advanced manufactured inputs from overseas, in contrast to many other countries with large resource sectors such as Norway. The other consequence of increasing dependence on a large resource sector, growth in the economy and tax receipts of governments will become increasingly volatile as a consequence of the large swings in commodity prices and national income. It is explicit government policy to shift resources away from manufacturing and other non-resource-based industries into the resource sector. This sets up an actual vicious cycle. Every time there's a boom in the resource sector, the rest of the non-resource parts of the economy are actually forced to shrink. Another consequence of the decline of Australian manufacturing will be this ever widening structural trade deficit as we increasingly import more of our manufactured products. The Australian science and technology base is fairly fragile. The science and technology base in Australia is much more dependent on government funding than in many other countries. There really isn't the type of political consensus that can ensure the continuity of funding. We can ill afford to lose an industry such as manufacturing, which is so science and technology intensive. 25% of total private sector R&D is conducted by manufacturing industry. You go back 10 years and the figure was around 50%. It's simply not sustainable in the long run for a country to embark on a strategy that it can think it can retain the advanced science and technology and outsource manufacturing. It is simply not possible in the long run to divorce those two. The continuing and rapid decline of Australian manufacturing industry is inevitable. There is undoubtedly a cost in attempting to retain a large and sophisticated manufacturing base. However, what we have to consider, what is the cost of its continual decline?